What's up, YouTube? Hope you've been enjoying that $20,000 Genesis tournament that's been going on right now for Age of Empires 4. This video is another build order tutorial that you can follow along with and is going to feature the build of one of these players. In this tournament, Vortix played as the Delhi Sultanate versus Caspus French, considered to be a very, very strong civilization that a lot of players are struggling beating, and Vortix was able to do it with this build order. I'm going to be going through his recording of this game. I've written down every step that he's taken, and I've provided this graphic that you can download. I'll leave a link below in the description, and you can follow along with this build order step by step. Now, I did write down every action that he was doing in the moment. Some things might be, great optimized decisions. There might be a few things that were just spur of the moment macro decisions that he was just making. So you got to take everything with a little bit of grain of salt. And of course, with all my build orders, make sure you adapt to the situation. If you're looking for more Delhi Sultanate guides, I have several guides and strategy videos and VODs available on the YouTube channel. So make sure you check those out. Or head on over to twitch.tv/FitzBro when I'm live, and I will be playing Delhi very often. Okay, let's get into this build order guide. If you haven't already, make sure you visited the Discord and download the build order so that you can follow along and have it up on one of your screens. It'll be very helpful. Okay, let's see what Vortix is doing in this game. So starting off here, he is taking his original 6 villagers. He's going to put 5 of those onto the mill near the berry bushes, since Delhi does get a bonus from berry gathering. And one of those villagers is building that mosque. Now that mosque will start with a scholar inside of it and start buffing the research rate of any text that he is researching. So at the mill, he likes to go up with the wheelbarrow first. A lot of debate about which tech people choose first. That's what Vortix does choose. So those first 5 vills on food. One new villager goes to a close straggler tree. He does not go all the way to the wood line. And he's going to continue to rally villagers to that tree. Meanwhile, that mosque builder has finished building the mosque and it has built a house to support population. And he will now have 6 villagers on food. So 6 on food, 2 on wood. First tech at the mosque he is getting is Sanctity, which will allow him to capture those sacred sites as early as the Dark Age if he wants to, but most likely in the Feudal Age with his scholars. He now has 3 villagers on wood, 6 on food, 3 on wood, and this new villager is rallied out this way, and what he's going to do that makes this build so unique is he is going to build a second mosque so he can get efficient production in queue. So there we go, 6 on food, 3 on wood. One new villager builds a mosque. Then he will go out here and he will build a mining camp and start getting some gold. Bringing back some of those sheep, which he will be gathering from later. And one thing to note is these trees will hold 150 wood, and wait till you see just how perfectly he's able to macro this. Okay, a new villager now going to food. So 7 on food. He will remain on 7 villagers on food from here on out for the first age. 7 on food, 3 on wood. The mosque builder has finished and now going out to gold. And look, he's just turned in that wood and had enough to put down a mining camp, putting a second villager on gold right now. And basically what you're going to notice is the second that tree runs out, which is impossible to click on, he will have exactly the precise amount of wood he'll need to walk over here and build a lumber camp. So I really like this little optimization that he has done. You can see he's even moved these villagers a little earlier to drop off that wood. And exactly when that tree has run out, he's going over here and dropping down a lumber camp. So we have 7 on berries, 3 on gold, and 3 on wood. New villagers are currently being rallied out to the tree line. And this will continue for a little bit of time. And there we go. So now he has a total of 4 villagers on wood. And he will start researching that first tech at the lumber camp, which is forestry, which allows your villagers to chop down trees faster. So just one more time, we have 7 on food, 3 on gold, and he now has 5 on wood. You, of course, want that 400 food and 200 gold in order to age up. And you will be seeing Vortix pull 3 villagers off of wood to build the Dome of Faith right here. Dropped off his wood, and there you go. Here comes the Dome of Faith, right about the 3 minute and 20 second mark. So a nice age up time. and new villagers now going to wood. Now, he does keep just 3 villagers on this throughout age up. I know that I have done 4 a lot of times and seen different players do 2 or 4 or 3, but for whatever reason, Vortix has decided 3 is the number he is going to go with. Currently 7 on food, 3 on wood. Sorry, now will be 4 on wood and 3 on gold. That new villager is going to build a house right at 19 population, so 1920, building that house, and then these will continue on over to the trees. Now you're going to see him do a little villager pool off the gold here, right after he gets just over 100 gold to come back and build a barracks. Now I'm not sure if you need to pool all these villagers to go build that barracks, or if it's just was a macro decision he just happened to make in the time. But you'll see it here in just a second what I'm talking about, but I did write it down. So right now, 5 on wood, 7 on food, and there we go. There's 3 gold. It's kind of a weird number to leave for the gold. And they're going to come back and they are going to drop a barracks right as those villagers drop off at 150 wood. He is right on schedule. And of course, this is just going to help him get spearmen out on the field as quick as possible. Now, he is against the French, so you know there's going to be Royal Knights starting out. And sometimes you're going to have to make a decision. You know, if you don't know if your opponent is going to have cavalry, and maybe it's not worth doing the barracks. That's something you're going to have to decide as you adapt for your opponents. But in this matchup, in this situation, he decided to go straight with these barracks and spearmen. Spearmen do cost 20 food and 60 food and 20 wood. And those 3 gold villagers have now gone over to the sheep. They'll be nice and safe. He's probably assuming Casper's already in the second age, doesn't want a knight to run in and kill his villagers. So we have 10 on food now that we've added 3 to the sheep line. 7 on wood. 3 villagers just about to finish up that on that Dome of Faith. And here comes that Royal Knight, and he does pick off a villager. New villager is currently being rallied 2 gold, and what he is doing is he's going to just sprinkle his spearmen throughout his base as defense. Now, one thing that is tempting to do with Delhi is to build lots of walls, right? Your infantry can build these walls, and I know I've certainly done it a lot, and I think it can be really good, but at the same time, it does cost a lot of wood to do that, and I think he tends to go for the method of just protecting his troops with spearmen. Okay, so Micro and his villagers back in there as gold villagers because knights are going to be harassing. And this is a good look at what could realistically be happening in one of your games. He has dropped down this blacksmith, and the first tech he's going to get up is that the under mesh to protect from archers, because typically players will, after these royal knights, be coming in with archers. Right now, looking at 5 on food, 10 on wood, 1 on gold. Obviously, he's remacro into food as he's had to garrison. And that blacksmith is in. He's going to go with the iron undermesh. And he is taking these new scholars. And you can see he has already finished the efficient production. He has finished the sanctity. And he's gone with a new scholar on out to capture the sacred site with a few spearmen to protect it. Now, I know I a lot of times will try to wall this up. But I think he really just wants to maximize his wood. And you see here, spearmen just sitting at home, taking hits at those royal knights. And now he's really going to have to commit if he wants to take the sacred site back from Vortex, since he does have some spearmen protecting that scholar. And I kind of like this. A little bit of a delay sending the scholar out so that he could have the spearmen he has to protect him. You see 2 spearmen here, 2 spearmen here. I think it's a nice way to go about protecting your base. Not to mention the scholar can also heal up these spearmen as they take on any damage. So now he's going to start accruing this gold. And honestly, I feel like if you get in a situation with Delhi that you're actually able to start getting these sacred sites, you can pull your villagers off gold a lot of times because you're just going to start having a ridiculous amount and have to trade it, which is not the end of the world to have to trade, but you want to be careful maybe on overgathering on gold sometimes if you are going to have these 2 sacred sites. Okay, so now he has a archery range going down and a house, of course, and he took a new scholar and garrisoned him inside the archery range. Now, this is going to make them produce archers twice as fast. So pretend this is 2 archery ranges right now. And he's going to need a lot of food and wood to support, of course, these spearmen and these these continuous archers. Now, he is training up his hardened spearmen now, just as he has, let's see, a total of 7 villagers, or 7 spearmen out on the field. Now, one thing you could do is he could decide to garrison one of these scholars inside of there, which would speed this technology up. But this is just the way Vortex went about it. And then he's going to have, of course, this back and forth out here with the spearmen and archers. And what he's kind of doing by taking these sacred sites is drawing Casva's attention away from his base. So he's just trying to stay alive and keep Casva out of his villager line, and this is a nice way to do it while he is currently accruing that gold. It's going to take some time for Casva to truly knock off the sacred site, and you can see he's just buying time right now, and he's keeping the sacred site, and by doing that, he's going to have the gold that he's going to need to age up. Now, I mentioned about not overgathering. Look, he already has 800 gold. These guys could be on food right now, helping towards that age up, but he does decide to throw down a market and re-macro for that, which is okay. It's going to happen. You find yourself having a lot of gold as Delhi quite often. Okay, and right now he's going to be just bouncing between his two sacred sites. He's been doing the ×2 archers here from this archery range, and when he gets in these engagements, what he's doing, he's using his archers and trying to pick off his enemy archers while the spearmen focus the cavalry. And here comes the scholar, just making sure they still got this, and he actually can heal these troops. Watch this. Love this use of this. Now let's see what technologies he has up right now. He did get all the healing upgrade. He did the healing upgrades at the mosque, so he's able to very quickly heal up his troops while balancing between these two sacred sites. And he's not going for a third sacred site because it'd be really hard for his infantry to patrol 3 sacred sites at the time. Though it's tempting to get greedy and go get it, a lot of players are going to be watching it. Meanwhile, this scholar's taking a little bit of archery fire. Back at home, let's look at what he's doing with his macro. He's got, there you go, he threw down the market and he has bought the food he needs to age up. So it's going to cost 1,200 food and 600 gold. You see, he's a little low on gold, but he gets a 400 gold per minute when he has 2 of these. So right now, these are bringing 400 gold per minute, and look at that, he's got what he needs to age up. And he is throwing down the House of Learning. From here, that's most of the basics of this build order. But you get to make some decisions as you get into the castle age, which I have provided at the bottom of the build, which is going to be to put down a second barracks and start training the men-at-arms. The opponent is making archers and knights, which the men-at-arms are going to do a great job dealing with. And this House of Learning has a honed blades technology that gives them +3 attack. So I highly recommend researching that as soon as possible. Vortex actually forgets to do that in this game, but it's a very strong tech, particularly if you are making those men-at-arms or knights. And look at this fight. We've got the archers targeting the enemy archers. If we look at the numbers, Vortex is up in numbers because he's able to trade these ×2, while Casva is not. I bet you Casva is sitting on 1 archery range, and that is the case. He does have 2 archery ranges, but currently just is not producing units, I guess. Maybe he just recently got that down. So you can see there that the ×2 here on this archery range at least very easily demonstrates it can stand up to an opponent having 2 archery ranges as well. So now he's got these scholars. Now a little bit of weird back and forth here. I think he just wasn't paying attention, but he's garrisoning these scholars inside these military buildings because he's going to be spamming out men-at-arms. You see here that going in there, and now this man-at-arms is only going to take 11 seconds to train. And so he's going to immediately start training man-at-arms. They cost food and gold. 100 food, 20 gold. So you're going to need a lot of food. You see he has about 23 villagers on food at the moment. Only 1 on gold because his sacred sites were gathering gold. So he has gold banked up from when he still had control of the sites that he's been able to queue up these man-at-arms. And he's going to want to go out and gain control of those sacred sites because it's really just going to feed your momentum into training more and more men-at-arms. And from here, at the technologies, he's getting fitted leatherwork, which is going to give his man-at-arms more, or all his infantry, more defense against melee attacks. He's got scholars out here. Not only can he heal his units, but he can go out and capture these sacred sites, which you're going to see him go and do. And you see his army now has to really focus. These men-at-arms can tank a ton of the archer fire, and the opponent has probably made a bunch of archers because you had some spears in the second age. So this is a nice little switch of units, and I honestly think this time frame right here is when Delhi is at its strongest. You get those free technologies where other civs have to pay for them. He's got his opponent to stay in the second age for the moment. Yes, he's losing a few villagers back here at home, but he's doing okay. He's getting this free gold. And from here, I will speed things up so you can just see he goes in for the war effort. But as far as the build order is concerned, that is most of it. Vortex was able to... Hold on, let's go to cinematic mode. There we go. Vortex was able to just get a lot of man-at-arms out and overwhelm his opponent. You'll see him just continue to push into his base. And he actually does not even make any battering rams. He just continues to just push these man-at-arms in here with the archers, and it's just enough to keep Casva on the back foot, just running away from the man-at-arms. So, a nice build order. I would like to see your comments in the description down below, and let me know what you think about this. It was really cool seeing Delhi showcased in the Genesis tournament, and seeing Delhi up against, in round 1, what's considered to be one of the strongest civilizations. And this is just a look into his build order, and I've written it down so we have it for all of history. And I'm sure maybe there could be some optimizations to a few of the items, and encourage you to join the Discord and talk about the build order in our Delhi channel, where we can be discussing what was great about this build, what could be improved and optimized. But very cool to see. I think what was most unique here was this double mosque opening in order to get efficient protection and sanctity in right from the start of the game. And from here, you're going to see he's just going to move in with his army and just put those man-arms right on the town center. Doesn't even need a ram. And there we go, starting to do some siege, putting in that torch damage, and these man-arms are able just to tank any archer fire, and that will be the game. So, thank you guys so much for checking out this Delhi build order video. I have other build orders available on the channel. Feel free to check those out, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.